Good morning, everyone. We are celebrating Martin Luther King Jr. Day on this Monday, January 16th. And Dr. King's dream is slowly but surely coming true, which brings us to our next guest, who for decades has been realizing his dreams in show business, dreams that have taken him in all kinds of directions, both in front and behind the camera. Well, in his memoir, My Own Directions, A Black Man's Journey in the American Theater, Mr. Epps takes us all along on the ups, the downs, and everything in between. And it is such a pleasure to welcome director, producer, writer, actor, and author, truly a man of many talents, Mr. Sheldon Epps!
Oh, thank you. That's quite the introduction. Thank you so much.
Well, it's deserved. Well deserved. Such
Thank
a
you.
pleasure to have you on here, sir.
Well, it's great to be here.
I don't know
Happy
whether,
MLK Day.
yeah, I don't know whether to bow to you, whether to salute you, whether to, because we go way back in a different kind of way, which I already kind of hinted to you about. But congrats on your memoir.
Thank you so much.
And people who know you and know how much you've accomplished and stalked you long enough like me, I'm going to say, what took so long?
Well, I guess the big thing was just having the time to do it. You know, fortunately, I've been busy directing and producing and all of that. But this little thing called the pandemic hit us a couple of years ago and forced me to stay at home and took away any excuse I had not to sit down and write the book. So in a way, it was a blessing to have that time.
All right, so, and we were talking earlier, we were bonding earlier before this segment, and I was asking you where you were. You said Pasadena, which is where you had your first theater experience at the Playhouse. So I'm sure that we'll get to see how that molded you into the actor, the director that you've become in the theater world, and the mover and shaker that you have become. I'm shaking.
Yeah. But you look good shaking, so it's
thank you,
okay.
sir.
I started my love of theater going at Pasadena Playhouse when I was very young. I was about 8 years old, and I saw a play called A Member of the Wedding there with the great icon Ethel Waters, and that introduced me to what a diva performance is like on the stage. So it's kind of amazing that many years I went back there as artistic director and was there for 20 years. So I've had a connection with that theater for a long time, and it gave me so many great opportunities and introduced me to the world of television and all of that. So it's my artistic home, I call it.
And I know that in this field, as an actor, as a director, as a producer, there's so many challenges that come with it, but there's a different level of challenge that comes when you're a person of color trying to navigate your way through this field. So, that's why I want people to pick up your book, because then they're going to figure out and see what kept you going. Why did you keep going? Because you could have quit or you could have been downtrodden, but here you are, years later, still like taking on the battle, still trying to make it happen.
Yeah, trying to knock down those walls. You know, we artists of color get put in a tight little box and we're told what we can do, what we can't do. We can be leaders, we can't be leaders, all of those things. So I really wanted to challenge all of that to prove that artists of color could do anything and everything. And I hope that the book will be an inspiration to people to follow their own directions and believe in their own talents, their own abilities, and dream big and be ambitious. And that's especially important to talk about as we honor Martin Luther King.
Yeah. And you say you hope. I know they're going to be inspired. Are you kidding me? Is your picture not on that cover? Well, you know, like you're known for the theater and television and everything, and we've begun to see a lot of like diversity, more diversity than before. And if you watch a Critics' Choice last night, you saw Miss Niecy Nash, Miss Angela Bassett, you saw Miss Cheryl Lee Ralph win for their roles. You saw Abbott Elementary win for their roles. And my question is, how much more change do we need to see? Like, would you say if Martin Luther King, he had that dream, how far have we come? Or are there more changes you feel that need to happen, or is it just superficial?
Well, you're absolutely right. There's been a lot of changes, and we have to celebrate that. We have to be grateful for the wonderful things that have happened and all of those people and so many others who are shining in the profession. Where I'd like to see more change is people of color having the positions of power, the decision-making positions, where they can green light a television show or a movie. We have a lot of directors and writers working, and obviously a lot of actors on screen. But we need more authority, more power behind the scenes to make things happen and create work for other actors of color. So hopefully that'll be in the next few years. We can go further with that.
And you've been there along the way, screaming cut and action on some of my favorite shows. Sister, sister, friend.
Yes.
Oh, baby, I hear the blues are calling. Tossed salad and scrambled eggs. Frasier. Like, I can't even go on. Smart Guy, Jamie Foxx show. I cannot even deal. People don't even know. And then you have a new project you're working on. So I'm not even going to talk about it because I want you to come back next time to talk about it separately. So we'll talk about the book here, and then we'll talk about, you know what project I'm talking about, right?
I do know. I know exactly what you're talking about, and I'll be back to talk about that.
Okay,
Thank
do you want to say it, or
asking.
do you want us to make it like a teaser? Do you want to say it or not even say what it is?
Well, we'll tease it a little bit. It's a musical about a great, great R&B artist, Mr. Lloyd Price.
Okay.
And it's going to be hopefully in Chicago and then on the way to New York.
Ooh, so when you come to New York, we'll talk about it. I cannot wait to
Okay.
bask in your presence and all your glory, because I'm even more talented than I was before this interview. I had zero talent. Now I am off the charts. Thank you, sir.
Wow, then I must be a brilliant director.
You
because
are.
it's even better.
You are. And we thank you for joining us this morning. Such a
Thank
pleasure
you.
to meet you. Everyone at home, his book, My Own Directions, A Black Man's Journey in the American Theater, is available now everywhere books are sold.